They say Aquarius is strange, unpredictable, cold. The sign that lives in the clouds, too detached to feel, too rebellious to belong. But what if that was the greatest illusion ever told? What if the one everyone misunderstands is the one quietly shaping the future while the rest of the world sleeps? Aquarius doesn't crave attention. They crave awakening. They are the architect of rebellion, the scientist of the soul, the silent observer holding lightning in their hands. And the world is just beginning to realize how dangerous that is. Because when Aquarius stops watching from the edges and starts acting on what they've always known, the entire system trembles. Every revolution begins with a whisper, and every whisper begins with an Aquarian mind refusing to stay silent. Type it in the comments, now I am the future, because you are. And now, let's begin. There's a secret the stars have been whispering for centuries, and it begins with you, Aquarius. For generations, the world has mistaken your distance for disinterest, your silence for apathy, your rebellion for arrogance. They see the chill in your stare, but never the fire behind it, the kind that burns quietly, controlled, patient, waiting for the exact cosmic second to release. And that moment is now. Because what few understand is that Aquarius isn't driven by ego, they're driven by evolution. You were never here to fit in. You were here to interfere, to challenge the circuitry of human consciousness itself. Where others crave power for themselves, Aquarius channels it for the collective. You are the breaker of illusions, the one who tears through the static of conformity and downloads divine truth through chaos. When the rest of the Zodiac speaks in emotion or instinct, Aquarius speaks in frequency. You don't just feel, you transmit. Your mind is an antenna tuned to higher dimensions, intercepting signals of the future. People call you detached, but that's because they've never stood in the silence before a storm, that electric pause, where lightning decides where to strike. You live in that moment perpetually, and that's your danger and your strength. You've been walking through this world as both alien and oracle, sensing what's broken long before others can see the cracks. You've carried the burden of foresight, knowing what's coming and feeling powerless to stop it. Every time you tried to warn others, they turned away. Every time you revealed a truth, someone labeled you too intense, too weird, or too idealistic. But you were right, every single time. Aquarius is the sign that carries the paradox of humanity itself, the heart that beats for everyone, and the mind that refuses to be owned by anyone. You are both scientist and mystic skeptic, and believer rebel and healer. You don't destroy for chaos's sake, you destroy to rebuild, to liberate, to cleanse the field of stagnant frequencies that no longer serve the collective soul. And right now your power is awakening. It's subtle at first, a restless energy in your chest, sleepless nights, filled with new ideas, synchronicities that echo like Morse code from the universe itself. Technology bends toward you. People begin finding you, who mirror your energy, who speak your secret language of symbols and silence. The age of Aquarius isn't coming, it's arriving through you. You are no longer meant to hide behind logic. Your detachment was protection, not punishment. Your isolation was gestation. The world is about to experience what happens when an Aquarian soul, once misunderstood and underestimated, steps fully into their cosmic authority. Because your power isn't loud, it's structural. It changes the architecture of reality itself. You see patterns where others see chaos, networks where others see division. You are the living bridge between mind and cosmos, the connector of human hearts through invisible energy. That's why your ideas scare people. They feel your frequency before they understand your message. And that fear, that resistance, it's proof that your vibration is already transforming the grid. But remember, before every revelation comes a test. The world resists evolution before it bows to it. You, Aquarius, are the messenger standing at the edge of the known world, holding the urn of truth. You pour water on the fire of ignorance, and the flames hiss, fight, and scream before they fade. Your mission was never to be loved first. It was to be understood eventually. And that eventually begins now. Because the universe has been silent long enough, and you, Aquarius, are the voice that will shatter that silence. But first, you must survive the season of solitude that made you who you are. There comes a point in every Aquarian journey when the noise fades and silence becomes the only companion. This is the hidden season, the time when everything external seems to fall away and only the truth remains. It's not a punishment, it's the initiation of visionaries. Aquarius, you were never meant to be ordinary. The universe placed you on the edges of belonging so that you could see what others cannot, the full architecture of humanity's evolution. You watch from a distance, not because you're cold, but because distance is how you perceive the pattern. You were designed to step back, to analyze, to reimagine reality from the outside in. But this distance comes at a price. You've felt it, the ache of being misunderstood, the fatigue of explaining your intentions to people who only see the surface. You've known what it means to love deeply and be labeled detached, to care more than anyone, yet appear uncaring. The truth is, your heart beats for the collective, and that kind of love is too vast for most to comprehend. In this hidden season, Saturn, your ancient ruler, becomes your silent teacher. It strips away illusions, forces patience, and builds the kind of endurance only cosmic architects can possess. Every disappointment you've endured wasn't rejection, it was refinement. Every person who walked away was a mirror showing you what you've outgrown. The universe was sculpting your solitude into strength, because while others feared the silence, you learned to listen to it. In that stillness, something extraordinary happens. Your frequency begins to recalibrate. You start feeling surges of inspiration at 2 a.m., seeing connections between thoughts, people, and timelines. Uranus, your modern ruler, whispers through electricity, the creative current running beneath chaos. It sends flashes of innovation that pierce through despair. You start realizing that what felt like exile was actually incubation. Aquarius, your solitude is sacred because it reconnects you to your higher mission. It reminds you that your power was never meant to dominate, it was meant to liberate. You are not here to lead followers, but to awaken thinkers, not to control the system, but to recode it. And though the hidden season feels lonely, it's also where your real awakening begins. You start seeing synchronicities, repeating numbers, déjà vu, people resurfacing at precise moments. You sense that unseen forces are arranging your path. You begin to trust your timing, your instincts, your detachment. You stop chasing belonging, and suddenly belonging finds you. The hidden season is not an ending. It's a recalibration of your destiny. You are being prepared to emerge stronger, more crystalline, more aligned with the cosmic rhythm. The world will soon call your transformation sudden, but you will know the truth. It was born quietly in the dark, where only stars could see you. Because Aquarius is never truly alone. The future walks beside you even when no one else does. And now, as the stillness begins to hum, and the air thickens with change, you can feel it. The storm you've been carrying is about to move through the heavens. Something vast is stirring, and it carries your name. Everything in your life, Aquarius, has been building toward this alignment, a convergence of cosmic architecture that few can perceive, let alone withstand. The heavens are moving, the frequencies are shifting, and somewhere in the deep machinery of destiny, gears that have slept for centuries are beginning to turn. You were designed for this moment, because no other sign carries the paradox you do. Ruled by both Saturn and Uranus, you embody the tension between order and revolution. Saturn is the ancient gatekeeper, the planet of structure, karma, and endurance. It taught you how to build, how to wait, how to discipline the lightning of your own genius. And Uranus, wild, erratic, divine, is the thunderbolt that refuses to obey. Together they forge the Aquarian archetype, the innovator, the rebel architect, the prophet of progress. It's a combination that the universe rarely grants, because it means you don't just dream of change, you engineer it. You understand that evolution requires both chaos and code. You know that to break the system, you must first understand its blueprint. That's why your power often appears slow, inconsistent, even contradictory. But that's the illusion. Saturn stabilizes your power, so Uranus doesn't burn the world too soon. And now, those energies are syncing the rebel and the architect, finally in unison. When Aquarius is balanced, miracles appear as strategies, revolutions look like ideas, prophecy wears the disguise of technology, of culture, of quiet innovation. You don't need to shout to change the world. You adjust the current, you reprogram the signal, you whisper into the circuitry of humanity, and the frequency shifts. Every great leap forward in consciousness carries the signature of your element air. But not just the air we breathe, the air of data, thought, communication, and awakening. You are the wind that carries truth into closed rooms, the unseen intelligence connecting everything. This is why you've always felt drawn to networks, communities, and movements that reach beyond the individual. You are not here to gather followers, you are here to weave systems of liberation. And right now, the cosmos is amplifying your reach. Look at the signs, inventions that feel prophetic, collective unrest, demanding justice, consciousness expanding beyond borders. These aren't random, they're reflections of the Aquarian age unfolding. The prophecy of your sign is no longer myth, it's migration humanity, moving toward the very vibration you embody. But with power comes friction. Every light bearer faces resistance from the shadows it reveals. As you rise, some will misinterpret your detachment, your logic, your refusal to conform. Let them. Their misunderstanding is confirmation that your energy no longer fits their timeline. Because when Uranus moves through your chart, truth becomes unstoppable. The universe starts deleting what no longer serves your destiny. Friendships dissolve, careers end, beliefs shatter. It feels like destruction, but it's divine restructuring, Saturn's silent approval that you're ready to step into mastery. You may even feel it now, that strange pressure building in your chest, the electric hum behind your thoughts. That's not anxiety, it's activation. The old you can't contain what's coming. The frequency is too high, the calling too vast. You're being tuned to broadcast at cosmic scale. So take a breath. You don't have to try to make it happen. It's already written in your chart, woven into your soul's architecture. The planets have begun their symphony. And you, Aquarius, are both the conductor and the lightning that strikes the first note. Midway through this awakening, the universe always leaves breadcrumbs, signals that the prophecy is unfolding exactly as promised. Watch closely now because the signs are already appearing. You can feel it, Aquarius, that electric pulse under the surface of daily life. The air hums differently now. Time bends. Conversations echo before they happen. These are not coincidences. These are confirmations. The prophecy is unfolding, and the universe is signaling that your power is no longer dormant. Sign 1. Synchronicities multiplying. The repeating numbers, the perfect timing, the moments that feel scripted by fate, they're not random. They're proof that your frequency has locked into the universal current. You no longer chase alignment, you broadcast it. Every thought sends ripples. Every emotion alters the field. The cosmos is answering your signal. Sign 2. The collapse of the old. Things once stable are now breaking apart. Jobs, friendships, belief systems. It feels chaotic, but this is divine reordering. Saturn and Uranus are reshaping your reality so it can hold a higher vibration. What leaves now was never meant to last. The collapse is not punishment, it's preparation. Sign 3. The gathering of allies. People with familiar souls are finding you again, the ones who speak your hidden language of vision and innovation. Together you form an invisible network, the web of light that will sustain the Aquarian age. When you meet them, you'll know their presence will feel like remembering who you were before the world told you to forget. Sign 4. The voice within grows louder. Your intuition no longer whispers, it declares. Dreams, instincts, impulses come like lightning. You can't ignore them now. This is Uranus activating your higher circuitry, downloading instructions from your destiny. Trust it, even when it defies logic, because your logic is cosmic. Sign 5. Purpose pulls you forward. Your interests are shifting fast. What once inspired you now feels obsolete. You're being magnetized toward what matches your upgraded frequency, new work ideas, communities, missions. Don't resist. These are the coordinates of your calling. Together, these signs form a pattern that can't be denied. The Aquarius awakening is underway. You may notice the world reacting to your rise. Some will resist you, others will try to imitate you, but none can replicate the source because your energy doesn't come from approval. It comes from alignment with the future itself. Aquarius doesn't follow trends. They are the signal before the trend begins. And right now, your signal is shaking the grid. You were once the outlier, the misunderstood, the strange frequency that didn't fit, but that was before the world caught up. Now it's not you who stands outside the circle. It's the old world that no longer fits within you. Something irreversible has begun, and the one who once stood alone is about to lead the storm. Everything begins to shift the moment Aquarius stops apologizing for being different. The moment you stop hiding the fire inside your calm, the reversal begins, and every structure that underestimated you starts to tremble. This is the awakening Aquarius, the long-awaited moment when your power once buried beneath silence and misunderstanding rises to the surface, like lightning breaking through the clouds. You have spent lifetimes observing, analyzing, studying the world like a living experiment. You watched people repeat mistakes, watched systems rot from within, and wondered why no one else could see. That vision was both your burden and your birthright, and now it becomes your weapon. For years, your compassion was mistaken for detachment. Your boundaries were called coldness, but that distance, that sacred neutrality, was your shield while you gathered strength. It allowed you to stay clear while chaos raged around you. Now, with Saturn's wisdom and Uranus's fire balanced inside you, you are no longer the outsider. You are the axis. The reversal happens quietly at first. Opportunities that once ignored you begin to seek you out. The same people who doubted your ideas now quote your language. Those who dismissed your intuition now depend on your guidance. Because truth always wins, and you Aquarius are truth in motion. The awakening doesn't mean sudden fame or recognition. It means alignment with your divine frequency. It's the realization that you no longer need permission to exist as you are. Your perspective, once too radical for its time, has become the roadmap for others to follow. Your role in this age is not to blend in, but to initiate the shift. You are the lightning that cracks open new consciousness, the scientist of the unseen, the spiritual hacker rewriting the code of the collective. When you speak now, the air vibrates differently. When you act, the world ripples. You've crossed from intention into influence, from waiting to wielding. And make no mistake, the world will notice. Some will be inspired, others will be threatened. But it no longer matters because you're no longer powered by validation. You're powered by destiny. The same solitude that once wounded you has become your armor. The same rejection that once haunted you has transformed into discernment. You now see clearly who can stand beside you and who can't survive your light. This reversal is cosmic justice. The misunderstood becomes the messenger. The silent becomes the storm. The visionary becomes the builder. The rebel becomes the guide. You've paid your karmic debt, Aquarius. You've earned your crown not through conquest, but through endurance, through the relentless honesty of living your truth, even when no one else could see it. And now, the energy that once made you feel alien becomes your greatest gift to the world. Because the future no longer waits for approval, it waits for your command. But what happens when Aquarius finally takes the throne of their destiny? When prophecy becomes reality and vision becomes law? This is the moment the prophecy completes its circle. The point where Aquarius stops reaching for the future because the future has already arrived through them. Destiny doesn't descend with fanfare. It unfolds quietly through the rhythm of your breath, the power of your thoughts, and the echo of your truth rippling through others. You may not see it at first, but your presence has already altered timelines. People are thinking differently because of something you said, wrote, or simply were. The wave has begun. Aquarius, you are the water bearer, but what you pour isn't just knowledge, it's awakening. You carry the waters of truth meant to cleanse the collective mind. Every idea, every act of rebellion, every refusal to conform has watered the seeds of tomorrow. You've become what you were always destined to be, a transmitter of light in a world starving for authenticity. Look at what's happening now: the collapse of old hierarchies, the rise of communities over empires, technology merging with consciousness, art turning into activism. These are not coincidences. They are your cosmic fingerprints across reality. The Aquarian energy you embody has taken root in the human story. The world is evolving toward you. Your purpose was never about individual glory. It was about becoming the vessel through which the new age could flow. Every struggle you endured, the loneliness, the doubt, the rejection, was a necessary cracking of the old container so you could hold more light. And now you do. You are no longer reacting to the world. You are creating it. This is the inheritance of Aquarius, the power to translate divine intelligence into tangible progress, the artist who codes truth into music, the scientist who channels spirit into innovation, the thinker who turns rebellion into reform. You are the living bridge between the spiritual and the scientific, heaven and earth, myth and method. Destiny fulfilled doesn't mean the end of your journey. It means the beginning of collective awakening. You were never meant to rise alone. Your power multiplies when shared. The age unfolding. Now your age is not about kings and followers. It's about networks of visionaries, webs of awakened minds, rebuilding the world from the inside out. This is your time. This is your calling. And the universe stands behind you, no longer testing, but trusting. So breathe deeply. Feel the electricity in your veins. You've carried the storm, and now you are the calm that commands it. The age you once foresaw is unfolding before your eyes because you were the portal it would come through. And as the old world fades into memory, a new one begins to shine crystalline, connected, conscious. Aquarius destiny is not something you wait for. It's something you become. Type it in the comments. Now I am the dawn of the new age. Because you are. You always were. And now the universe finally knows it too.